All right, after many videos on masking, let's go ahead and actually do the assignment. You'll notice that there's a size to turn in, which is lower pixels per inch than the size to work in. So when we're creating our first document, we'll want to do our working space here. So you Control N, whoops, I'm going to select this, Control N or File New, either one works. And I'm going to go ahead and make this, you can make it 5.6 wide or 5.6 high. I don't care. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and make it horizontal. So I'm going to make it 5.6 inches wide and make it 4.25 inches tall. And I'm going to set the resolution to 300 pixels per inch. RGB color, 8-bit. I'm going to leave this alone for now. We'll explain what the color profile and such is later in the semester. For now, we're going to go ahead and tell it okay. Now, next assignment, we're going to discuss smart objects in depth. But for now, just know that if you're placing stuff and it's getting like weird X's and things, don't worry about it. The one thing you will want to worry about is when you're turning this in, you'll want to rasterize the text before you turn it in. Do keep a copy of it without the text rasterized with the still editable text in case you need to change anything later. But for me, I need that text rasterized. Otherwise, if I don't have the font, I'm not going to see it. It's going to cause weird issues. So let's see what's going on with that. So I've gone ahead from my copyright-free images. I've poked around. I say we use this background. I think that'll be a fun one to play with for a bit. So I'm just going to, well, I made a copy of it. I'm just going to drag it on over and plop it on down. You see we've got background. We could have this transparent. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to throw it away. We have now this, this background, which is labeled with the file name. I'm going to call it background. Okay there. I need to see what's going on the other corner here, so I'm just going to break this off of the tab for a second. It looks, Z for zoom, looks okay. All right. So on that note, I'm going to go ahead and return it to how most of you will have it, which is with these tabs. Let's go ahead and insert those masked off objects that we spent so long working on. So notice, well, how about this? We'll massage the background a little bit first. See how we've got this sky and it's short. We'll need some more of that sky. I'm just going to do destructive edit. Control C, Control V. Oops. Here we go. So you can see that we've got a little seam. That's okay. I'm going to merge it down one. I'm going to take the, zoom out a little bit. I'm going to take the square marquee tool, draw across this line. I'm going to do an edit, fill, content aware fill, and that will just blend that together, oops, seamlessly. I don't really need to be looking at channels so much right now, so I'm going to shrink down my channels. Oh, lovely. Get rid of that. There we go. So we've got this content-aware fill, and now if I deselect, it still managed to screw it up because I forgot one important step. Let's go back to the rectangular marquee. I need this to be feathered so that it won't be a harsh change. So I'm going to go, let's do it from scratch one more time. Marquee across, do an edit, sorry, do a, I almost did it exactly the same way. Select, modify, feather, and we'll just add a 20 pixel feather. So it's nice and soft around and about. And now I'm going to do an edit. Notice we have content aware fill as a step. I like to see what I'm doing, so I'm going to just do it the long way. Fill, content aware, normal mode, opacity standard. Okay, boom. Okay, and now deselect it. So why is this a good thing? Well, let's do this. So instead of deselecting, just drag this down, a delete. Cool. So notice how I had it on a separate layer. Now when I merge down, destructive edit down, but we've got a sky that goes all the way across. So great, great for us. All right, so, you know, hey, I said merge down. Why is it not merging down? Let's do that one more time. Just merge visible. Fine, there we go. We'll call this background. Okay, background is set. Let's pull in those beautiful masked objects we made. We have the legs, I believe it was number 2 was the one that was the finished one. Just instead of dropping it in, which will do this placement, and then you notice that it's got this black background, which is not what I want. What I'm going to do instead is drag it to the top bar here, where it says copy suddenly, boom. Now I have 2 tabs open. I could also go File, Open, Navigate to, and Get It, what have you. I'm going to go to the legs, and remember the legs are masked off. I just have a black mat so I can see what's going on. I drag those over kaboom here with my Move tool. Make sure my layer is selected. I don't have auto select on, so I can select by control clicking, but otherwise it goes through. So I'm just going to see where she might look good. Maybe something like this. I'm going to put a frame around this, so I'll just cut this off here. So everything's kind of really in focus. We'll deal with that as a last step. We won't worry about that just yet. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my cow, which I left as animal with mask. It should really be cow. I think that's what we decided on. Now I dragged it up to where it said copy. Voila. I'm going to grab this layer, move it over to this tab, and plop down my cow. Now he's too big. So I'm going to do a destructive transformation. There's a way to do this non-destructively. I'll demonstrate that next assignment, which is using smart objects. I'll just shrink down the cow. Maybe a little bigger. I don't really like these stair steps looking at this, but I'm not going to be too nitpicky. When making compositions, generally you want to be very careful about having something in the very center, because that means that the eye will be attracted straight to it, and frequently that's not going to be the thing you want as the center of attention. I might be able to move it over one way or another. Looks like I can move it this way now because we got the girl standing up. So it would also be nice actually to have this a little more off center even. Maybe something like that. We could fill in all the blue using the same technique as before. See where it might look good. Just gonna wiggle it around a little bit and play around, you know? See what's happening with things. The snap is on, and it's annoying to me because I frequently don't want the snap on. So in order to turn the snap, just go to View, and see what it's snapping to. Under Snap to, just turn off Snap. And now I could just actually drag this around, finally, and have some good placement. So maybe something like this. Give the... Yeah, something like that. So I'm going to want more of this blue. I'm going to turn off the eyeballs. Same process as before. Control-C, Control-V this time. I've done the marquee selection. Just drag that up. And zoom in. Oh. You can barely see the line. That one merged way better than the last one. That's convenient. But I do believe we'll still have some blue over there. So I will go ahead and come back here. By back here, I mean back onto the background. No, actually, I'm going to merge down real quick. Actually, I'm going to flip this around so that the top... that's why it looked so good. It's actually merging. That works well. Okay, I'm going to merge down. So I've got background. Control-E is the same thing as this layer flyout menu merge down. So I use Control-E instead because I prefer it. I'm going to Control-C, Control-V. Which is same thing as edit, copy, edit, paste. Now I'm going to take my move tool, which is V keyboard, holding down shift to constrain it as I move over. I don't see any lines, so I'm going to go ahead and say this is okay to do. I'm going to merge this down, Control-E. Look at that, the cow covers that spot up. Lady's over here. It's not in the exact middle, it's still kind of middle-y, so I don't like that too much, but hey, it's better. I want you guys to do a little better on this than I am throwing it together, but I do want to just kind of show you how to put these things together. You can see we've got these masks going on, but as I was saying, everything's too in focus for me. So I duplicate the background, and I'm going to do a blur. And if you guys remember your filters and your blurs, feel free to use anything in your toolbox, and I'll go over these later We'll have a later assignment talking about filters and all that good stuff. But for now, I'm just going to do a blur. And let's see, what would be the best blur to use? Well, there are a lot of good ones, actually. Let's take a look at box blur. No, I'm not going to like that very much. Let's take a look at tilt shift blur. Should be much better. Let's do that. Oh, field blur would be good too. Well, let's do tilt shift right now. So I'll explain what the tilt shift blur is. Essentially, you put down a position or multiple positions on it, at which point you get this whole workspace going on. You have bokeh light. We don't want to work on that right now. Bokeh is just where you get like those spots of light that pop up. They're very popular in like 2012. They were on everything. The tilt shift blur itself, the amount of blur, which is the same thing as taking this and increasing or decreasing it. You also have the field, which you can rotate. I don't want to do that. You can increase it up or down. So I actually want it to be pretty sharp at the bottom. So I'm going to rotate this entire thing around. If it will let me do that again. First, there we go. Tilt this whole thing around. Yeah, we got two of them. I'll just leave it. Control Z. Come here. I'll drag this one down. And, oops, I clicked a whole bunch of places actually, so I totally ruined it. And so I'm going to click on one, press delete to get rid of it. Click on one, press delete to get rid of it. Click on one, press delete. And I'll just hit that pin again. There we go. Now, drag it up. Okay, so I keep doing this. I keep making it too high. So if you have a pin you don't want, select it, press delete. That's fine. I want it down here. There we go. Yay. I actually want it even lower. I want it off the screen. So select it, delete it. There we go. Okay, that's what I was after. So this is how long it takes the blur to drop off. Notice it's really blurry above the line, not as blurry below it. So I'm going to push this up, maybe in here. I'm going to grab this and just play with the blur until I'm happy with it. There we go. Now I think a second one would be good. I'm going to click it up here this time. Flip it around. I don't need to do that. I keep forgetting older versions you'd only have the one, but now you've got the two options. No, actually I do need to leave it the other way. There we go. So you can rotate it. I just want a bit more blurred down here. It's unfortunately not behaving very well with the other one. There we go. All right. So I'll just grab my tools. Do I want any distortion? I do not. All right, so let me explain what's going on here instead of just fiddling with it for a minute. When you get this kind of system, you put down a pin, and those pins are essentially the focus of where the adjustment is occurring. So in my case, right here, you can drag to increase or decrease the intensity. Same thing as moving these tools around. If you have multiple pins, you can click on different ones in order to see where they're going. In this case, you have a drop-off, which is where the effect is happening. You also have if I could grab it, a clean zone, essentially, that's going through. So this is like a ramp going up to blur it. This is the clean area, and then repeat the opposite direction. That's all that's going on. If we were to use a bokeh effect, then we would use these controls. So for example, you could increase the light bokeh, you could add a color tint to it if you wanted. We don't want to do that. And then you control the area that the bokeh is occurring in. So in other words, if you had a gray dot and a lot of white and black, then you'd focus the bokeh effect in there, and then we create a really bright blurry dot, but we don't want that, so we're just going to turn that off for now. Turn that off for now. All right, so that should about do it. I actually think I preferred it with the one pin, so I'm going to delete that pin, go back to this one pin. And just drag it a little bit. This is more of what I wanted. I need it crisp at the bottom so that the cow kind of fits in and matches the rest of it. Okay, boom, like it. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it okay at the top. I've got the bouquet effect going on. Now on the original, I don't have it. On this one, I do. So I could actually control this further using masking. If I wanted, I could apply a mask. I could fill that mask with black so that it is, and that's just Control Delete, completely hidden. Go in with the gradient tool, which is G on the keyboard, black and white, and I could apply my blur effect second time wherever I want it by using a gradient, which is kind of neat. So I can do those adjustments, and the only reason I can do that is because I copied it. Another thing I could do, if I'm going to go that far, is duplicate it. There we go. And then go to a more standard for blur, such as filter, blur, Gaussian blur, the default best blur in the world. I could just do a good old smushy blur on things. There we go. Till OK. Add my mask. Take the gradient. Hold down Shift so it's straight. And have a lot more control over how I want that blur effect to occur. So maybe something like that. And maybe even just mask on the mask, select that pier, I suppose. Take the gradient again and apply it a little more harshly so that I can have a this whole weird thing blurred out but have crisp grasp for the cow to fit in. And I can touch that up with my brush using black, using a low hardness. Something like that. Maybe a gray instead of a black, or black with like 20% opacity, say 100. Press 20 on the top of your keyboard to get that in. There we go. It's better. All right, I actually think, let's see, between the two, I might get rid of the mask on the other one. I'm going to drag it to the trash can on the original tilt shift blur. Delete that mask. This one's better. So after all the fiddling, at least we have choices. I like the tilt shift blur better. So we'll go ahead and stick with that. We'll call that blurred background. I think I put a typo on that. That's okay. Throw that away. Let's save what we have so far. And so this is assignment 2. So I'm going to go ahead and call this 02. And I'm going to do underscore last name, underscore first name. And then, wait, did I say underscore? It's supposed to be space. Sorry, guys. So 02, space, last name, space, first name, space. This is the first iteration. You can put however many numbers you want at the end. That's fine. I just want to keep track of it. So 01. And there we go. So that's the start. I've got some things in position. Next up, let's add some text. I will see you next video.